Hi there, it's Yarnchix Podcast Ep74 coming to you from Berlin. I'm very excited to record a new podcast. It's the end of March and I'm about to go to Edinburgh with a pop-up shop of my Yarnchix goods. I get to attend Woolly Good Gathering. I'm going to be a punter most of the time, so I'm going to walk about and shop and hopefully meet lots of my friends and hang out and knit and just kind of generally take in the yarn fumes. But also on Friday, I get to have a little stool and I've set it up here as a little kind of inspiration for me to kind of, as I create things, I add them to the desk. I'm very excited to record today's episode. I have a couple of finished objects. I have a little bit of admin. There is a parcel of beautiful yarns that I want to unbox. And obviously, there is a tarot knit oracle. Is the business gonna business? A question by Sabila. I worked on the sweater, the autumn sweater, last time I recorded, and I wanted to just kind of check in quickly because for me, watching back episode 73, I realized that was one of the podcasts that will haunt me in my dreams, but I just need to be honest. I think I was masking quite a lot. I kept saying super excited and super happy and super inspired. But January, I was having an extremely hard time and I didn't want to admit to it. Again, I'm kind of caught in a grief loop as my Oma, who taught me to knit, sadly passed away early February. And I don't think I knew how to be my real self. So I think there was quite a lot of pretends, and I'm usually not like that. I'm quite an honest character, especially in the podcast in the past. I think you must know that it has been a wild ride and I want to be more honest than that, but obviously I couldn't. I had a hard time at work. It was stressful at work, and I am still grieving my mum and my friend, and then knowing that my Oma was unwell was really a really difficult month. I'll leave it at that, but I just wanted to check in and say I'm now aware that only in the last kind of after the tarot knit oracle and kind of being able to feel my gratitude for my hen bag that lovely Zara made me and all of the kind of bow-tastic moment at the end, then I was kind of more my normal self. So I was trying to, I think, compose some being, which I wasn't at the time. So yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to watch back, but I'm not a person to hold a grudge to anyone. So I'm not holding a grudge to myself, about myself. I don't know. Anyway, this is the sweater I was knitting at the time. I wonder if I sit on the sofa's edge. Oh yeah, here. If I sit here, you can see the full glory of the autumn sweater. I knitted on a 4.5 millimeter needle instead of the 5 millimeter needle, using mortar by the Wool Dreamers in this really cool color is 575 or 757. I'll put the colorway down here because it's just a number in this bright red. I wore it 3 days and it started to pill. I don't know if you can see the texture. I wanted to show it before I depill it because I was like, not so happy with this, and I just wish I would have opted to hold mohair with it and knit on the 5 millimeter needle as per pattern. I might amend that mistake, but right now I love wearing this red sweater, and I like this kind of big chunky neckline and how it's kind of folded over and standing up. I just like this red sweater, so I'm gonna keep it whilst it's cold and wear it. I'm gonna keep on wearing it, and then I might just re-knit it because it is knit on 5 millimeter needles and the yarn is still good. Why not pair it with mohair and get like a better texture? To be continued. I am willing to do that because I would love to have a sweater where I'm like 100% like, this is my red sweater. It's the quality, it's lasting, and I'm set with it. Right now I'm wearing it, but I'm not 100% set on it, which is, it's still lovely. I still love it. I realize my gauge knitting flat is kind of very, I don't know if you can spot it here, but the pearl rows are kind of visible, and it's like a learning process to adjust like needle sizes and gauge, but this was like my Christmas Eve cast on and I wanted to just get through it and have fun with it, so I did. The second FO that I want to share and show is my Pelika vest. Pelika is a pattern by Rosa Pomar, and it has this really cool shoulder detail. I think last time in the podcast I was at this point where I was meant to pick up stitches here, and I was showing how that was like my procrastination. I cast on this sweater and finished it, and then did this. But having the buttons ready, these amazing Ulrike Lea Moorman buttons, ready in my project bag, waiting to be sewn on, kind of spurred me on. So after I cast off the red sweater, I actually went for it and finished this. I ran out of this Fontifado, and I don't know, you can't see that it's a new dye lot at the end. You can't see it from the yarn texture, but what you can see is like it is a little bit more pilly here than it is here at the top. So the new Fontifado, which I ordered to top up, because luckily a local and former colleague Alice here in Berlin sells Fontifado in her kind of specialized French yarn online shop, and she has like a knit night here, or a knit breakfast, I think. Alice sells Fontifado and had it in stock, so I bought one ball, but obviously it has changed. It's a different fleece, maybe the weather was warmer that year, but it's kind of funny that now you cannot see the different dye lot, but the I-cord here is definitely more pilly than the one up here. So if you imagine, this is like actually gets more rub because it's the armhole, and this is the bottom. That's interesting. I'm gonna depill both items and maybe show them again at the very end for our fade out. Bad news though, just as I prepared here and put all my FLs on the table, I broke the bottom button. It's in two pieces. And to be honest, these kind of ceramic buttons, I was thinking, oh, I wonder if they will last. And this one is actually the thinnest one out of all of them. And I smashed it by just putting the vest like on the table. Not hard, I just kind of turned it over to look at the pilling, and so I'm gonna glue this and put it on the wall, and maybe just like wear it without that bottom button. I don't think, I'm gonna check that. But that was very sad, like a sad moment just before recording. I was like, oh. I told you, I don't hold a grudge against people, but I hold a grudge against myself. So gotta learn that. Accidents happen. Buttons will break. And there's a German saying which is Scherben bringen Glück, which means like broken glass is good luck. So I hope it gives me lots of good luck, because I'm excited about the pop-up that I get to have at Woolly Good Gathering. In 3 weeks' time from now, I'm traveling to Edinburgh, and I get to have a little pop-up stand. So I have a little makeshift version here. I'm working on like being very clear with my price tags, working on new products, including a zine. So the knit reportage at the end will be me folding the zine and showing there is a new zine, the mini zine number 2. It's a zine all about ideas that would be equivalent for like a scrappy knit. There's garments, scarves and mittens, cowls, blankets, shawls, socks, small items, toys, crochet, and further reading like book recommendations for small amounts of yarn. This could be like a countdown calendar, or it could be like your bunch of minis that you treated yourself to from the festival, or it could be like scraps. So it's the second in the series of zines. So yeah, this is number 1 and this is number 2. So I'm bringing them both. And I've started a reprint of Zine, which is the knit reportage at the end. You will see more of that. And there's one more new product, which is my newest Yarnchix pin. This is Yarnchix number 3 in the pin collection, and I love her. She's like the cheeky one with her hat on. A bit like the Yarn Chicken Game On bag that I made in October. The whole character ready to come and join your project bags and sit and knit with you. She's a funny traveler hen. The last finished objects in this first chapter are the gathering shawls, gathering shawl is actually the festival shawl for Woolly Good Gathering, designed by Maddie Harvey. And I first knitted this, and you might recognize this. It's the yarns from my swatch story from the previous episode. So I had intended not to talk about my swatches, but then I did at the end, and these two yarns were part of that swatch story. As I had it all out, I then decided I should be making the festival shawl. And yeah, I was knitting this. By the time I had finished the increases and was decreasing, I finally understood the pattern, and now I know it off by heart. So this is the unblocked version. I have darned in all the ends, but it's unblocked. And if you're one of my friends traveling with me to Edinburgh, please don't watch the next, let's say, 3 minutes. So content warning. Please, Nora, skip. I'm going with my friend Nora to Edinburgh, and we're kind of going on to flying together and sharing an Airbnb. And I made her a gathering shawl as well, because I know she was saying it's too complex. I don't have the capacity right now to knit something like this. And I've used her yarn. So this is the Keatsgan Cotti colorway on the Silky Solist, and then the Suri Silk, I think the Marrone colorway. It's extremely soft, so I'm very excited to give her this. Again, it's still unblocked, but just, I love this pattern. It's extremely soft and warm. That's the next step. I think I will block this here. I've got a little bottle of wool wash standing right there. So after I filmed it, I will block these, and then we will wear them all around the festival. I was inspired to cast on from Rhiannon's sample. Rhiannon is using a James Makes Things, also very speckly rainbow Zuri, I think, with a really woolly yarn. And Rhiannon, I found a very similar combo in my stash. So I have a third gathering shawl cast on coming up. I haven't brought it to the studio, so you'll just have to trust my words and wait for the next episode of Yarnchix Podcast to see it. But I'm gonna knit myself a second one, so that on Friday I have a gathering shawl, and on Saturday I have a gathering shawl, so that every day of the festival I have a different kind of festival shawl accessory with my outfits. I'm so excited because Maddie, the designer of this free festival pattern, which you can download from the Woolly Good Gathering website, Maddie is a friend of mine, and I'm super glad to go and see her and show her my shawls and fangirl. I want to celebrate that Maddie got this pattern. She had applied for it, and she's running the atelier, so I think maybe selling her own things. And I'm very excited to see Maddie in Edinburgh. So that's my finished items for today's episode. Next up is my works in progress. I've squeezed 2 sweater projects into this one big bag, my very favorite project bag at the moment. And because I put it on the top, since last recording, I've been knitting on the Lumme sweater. This is a design by Sari Nordlund, and it's meant to be my festival sweater for Edinburgh. I think I've chose a too big a size. It's quite oversized, but I love it. Oh, and you have to imagine this gets folded in and sewn down like this. I use all my Stashran colors that I showed in episode 73. They were like on the edge of this table for the different kind of color work, contrast colors. And I'm now at the point of knitting the color work on the sleeve. So there's kind of I've knitted the sleeve until that point and then put it on these cords. And then the same on this side with the knitting needles in. And look at my new stitch marker from Judith. Absolutely love this little shell with a pearl inside. Judith visited me and I was so delighted with my little gift collection. There was so much beautiful thing. I think the main heart moment was actually getting to experience like braided sweetgrass that Judith had brought from this kind of collective of people after going to an event, and I was so moved to hold a bit of sweetgrass. And the stitch markers are actually like crafted by Judith. Now I have a whole collection of these beautiful stitch markers. Thank you so much, Judith. I appreciate this really lovely present you gave me and that we had time together drinking coffee. So it immediately joined the sleeve. And as I'm about to do the color work for the sleeves, I thought this is a good time to show you. I've put the body on my cord as well so that I can rest, because I ran out of yarn, or I think, I mean, I have the 2 yarn balls that are still attached to the sleeve. That will be enough. But I had mistaken a ball of Abenaia, which is, this main color is Abenaia worsted weight yarn. And I have a yarn ball of the fingering weight or sport weight. Anyway, I'm going to put the exact thing. The yarn that is this sweater, I think, is the DK. And what I have is a fingering weight. So I realized I didn't have the right yarn. But I ordered some from Marisa and I will unbox it in a minute. And then I should have enough to complete the sweater project in time for the festival. So if you're coming to Edinburgh Woolly Good Gathering and you see this sweater, come say hi. I want to meet you all. I love it so much. And I love all the different contrast colors that I got through Stashran. Our amazing swap, giving each other countdown calendars from our stash and personalizing it. And I think Marisa was so amazing in like sharing so many beautiful colors with me. I'm so grateful. Okay, now you're gonna get a bit of a, if you have visited my podcast before, you would have seen that I finished this. This was like a finished object in the last podcast. An Esther cardigan by Petiteknit. And I'm making a second one for my daughter. So here I am, ready for Magic 3Mo. As my child has requested their very own Esther cardigan. I'm using La Rinconada and Varas from the Wool Dreamers. I hope the sleeve is alright. We're gonna have to try it on today because I think I might have cast on quite a lot of stitches. But yeah, so I'm like halfway through sleeve 1. I'm knitting size small and I love this squeezy textured. I'm not sure about all the kind of sleeve, the way the chart sits on the sleeve, there's quite a lot of moss stitch in the sleeve. I don't know, maybe it would have been better to have had 2 pattern repeats, but when I wear my Esther cardigan, it looks alright. So I hope in the smaller size it would also look alright, because in the smaller size the chart is also a little bit smaller, like less stitches. What else do I have to say about this? I think I spoke about the Esther cardigan quite a bit in the last episode, but I'm just very excited to knit one for my child. And come 1st of May, we have Magic 3 Mile coming again, so this will already be like the first item for my child's kind of set. All right, so that was my whips. And what's next? To chat a little bit about the Summer Knitting Club. And I want to share the unboxing. Let's do the unboxing first, because it connects to my Lumme sweater project. Let's do it. Okay, Marisa sent me this big bag. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was very crispy. I put some music over the top because I was unpacking and I remembered that paper crunches all the time. So now I have 10 skeins of the Abenaia sport white, which is so lovely. So 2 will go into my sweater, and then the rest I will save. I want to make a Burgos vest by Rosa Pomar. And I can't believe you sent me this extra. That's so lovely. So I have a little bit of honey from Portugal with a little honey like dispenser. That's so cute. I'm gonna use that here at my studio. And then these gorgeous plant dyed, really thick. So this would be like a chunky weight. Thank you so much, Marisa. I love Abenaia yarn. I'm a huge fan. Last but not least, on the kind of what I need to chat about, we're starting Summer Knitting Club Craft Along on the 1st of April, which is in 3 days' time. So I hope you're ready. Have you got summer yarns that you have been waiting to use? Are there summer garment patterns that you're keen to try out? Do you need help? Are there questions? In the past, I made a craft along considering just a very specific yarn from my workplace, Lino Muka. But this year, I wanted it open up. I want to open up and broaden the spectrum of summer yarns, because there is linen, there's bamboo, there is cotton blends and cotton yarns, as well as silk yarns that would make beautiful summer garments. And I know that there's people from all over who watch the podcast and who want to craft along. So what I decided to do was change it around, because I have the Summer Knitting Club like a tote bag design. That's what inspired me to say, let's open up. And I have been collecting in this bag color scheme, because I'm obsessed and I want to make the Olymp sweater vest. Vibeke, my friend from Norway, had sent me the pattern as a little kind of treat as a thank you for podcasting, and decided, you look like a person who wants to knit this. And Vibeke is right. I do want to knit the Olymp sweater vest, but I want to do a cotton version. I'm highly inspired by my friend Julia Julia has the account Knit Dein Ernst and knit a summer cotton version of the Olymp sweater vest, I think 4 years ago. So I've been a fan ever since, and I've been making this collection since then. So about time to cast on. So on 1st of April, I'm going to dive into this bag and start. It's going to happen. There will be this summer project. If you have any questions about the Summer Knitting CAL, or Craft Along, CAL, so Summer Knitting Club, CAL, Craft Along, just to say, we're not all knitting. Maybe we might be crocheting, and maybe we might be weaving. I don't know. Choose whatever way you want to use your summer yarns. Share about your summer yarns. Show and tell us what your ideas are. It's very open in this way. I'm here for it. And then it will be like, I will chat about it in the podcast. If there's questions coming up, I will use the Tarot Knit Oracle to help us with kind of spiritual considerations, as well as kind of like, boosts of energy. And I will also help with like technical things. Like with linen, I have learned so much because I've been linen knitting for quite a while now, that I'm happy to share my knowledge. So, as part of that, I'm going to start the Summer Knitting Club Clubhouse. There will be a monthly online gathering where we can check in. And as I have a Patreon chat, and we call it the Craft and Life check-in, it'll be a similar kind of vibe. It'll be people getting together and we'll talk about our summer knits, but we can talk about anything. You can even talk about your woolly knits, because at the moment I'm still like really into knitting from my Abenaia yarn projects, and I'm still knitting winter yarns and scarves and things. Anything is welcome. But in the clubhouse, the idea is that we gather and we sit, and it's via Zoom, so it's open to all places and all times. And I will try and host this monthly on different days at different times in order to be kind of as open as possible. I will also be able to help you with any concerns, issues, tips and tricks considering summer knitting. Yeah. This is my invitation. I hope you're up for it and you're excited. I'm very excited because I like summer knits and I like summer garment crafting. And yeah, I've had this idea of the Olymp sweater vest. If you're a scrappy crafter like me, join me with that or anything else that you want to do. I'm so glad to have you over, and I will be in your corner cheering you on if you need that. I'm a good cheerleader. I think I prefer that as a task in life, like to create a bit of energy for everyone to be positive. And on that note, I'm gonna end here with the Tarot Knit Oracle. My friend Zabela had a question whether the business, like will it work out? Will it all work out? Because Zabela is starting her carousel soft punk business in Zabela's corner. So this question is broader in a sense for all of us. It helps me think as well, because now I'm crafting zines. I have a new pin. I'm thinking about all the things I want to bring to Edinburgh, Woolly Good Gathering, and will the business there? Like, will I be able to connect to more people, to new people? Will people like my summer knitting goods, like this project bag and my tote bags? Will they like my pins? Or will they go for my zine? Will they like my reprint of Pinga Zine, the festival zine that I made about our happy place? And in that case, it was all to do with Woolly Good Gathering 2024. Will this kind of business for me, will Sabila's business for her? And will your business for you? Let's be open about this, because it's a hard time to be a small business with small ideas in this world where everybody's got to look after their money. And will people understand that, if you support small, you make big dreams come true. So I want to ask the Tarot Oracle all about that. Thank you for coming along on this ride and sticking out with me till the end. If you have any questions, comment below. Also, I'm so excited to find out, have you got summer knitting plans? Do you want to join? Do you want to double dip with Magic 3 Mile? Yeah. More about all this and any of your questions in the next episode coming mid-April, when I'm also going to share a knit reportage about Woolly Good Gathering 2026. So excited. Today's Tarot Oracle will be followed by a knit reportage about zine making, because I've taken you along to the copy shop and to the riso printing. So I think I have a little bit of footage there. Much love from here. Bye-bye.